my goodness, this is awful!
Prepare to be amazed.
Hey viewer, it's your Royal Majesty, the CDI Queen. My apologies for being a little lacking on content lately. I am, as of now, 9 months pregnant, and the CDI Princess will be along shortly, so as you can imagine, making content has not really been the top priority in my life right now. But I'm doing it when I can, to keep things going for y'all. And I got something kind of special for you today. It kind of surprised me because I was originally going to start a series called CDI Abominations, where we would take an in-depth dive at the particularly horrific CDI games. And I know that's a really broad generalization because really all of them are pretty terrible. But you know how I am about it. I would not consider the Zelda games to be abominations, where a lot of people would. So I was going to look at some that I consider to be abominations, and I was going to feature this game first. But then when I revisited it to play it, I realized that it really wasn't so much of an abomination that I could really, criticize it profoundly, and I was actually really surprised by how well it holds up. And this game is called Max Magic. It was made in 1994, and the basic gist of it is that it's a series of magic tricks performed by an animatronic fortune teller machine named Max Magic, who directly interacts with you. Think of like an amazing Zoltar. I was playing this game when I was little, and I actually only just found out when making this video that Max Magic is based on a real magician named Max Maven, who sadly passed away 3 years ago from this year being 2025. Max Maven was directly involved in this game according to the credits, having written the magic tricks and also performing the voice for the Mystic Max, which is the one with any of the Zodiac-based tricks. Brian Lohman is credited with all the other Maxes, which is a little weird to me that they used the real guy for just a couple of them, but then different voice talent for everything else. But I guess they had just enough in the budget for a little bit of the real guy. Anyway, the cool thing about this game is that it is extremely interactive. The entire thing is. First, you get to pick your name from a list of predetermined names so that he will call on you personally. They're all recorded. Good luck if you're not on the list. The game is divided into 2 screens, one where Max performs tricks on you, and the other where you and Max perform tricks for a friend of yours. It actually involves 2 people. And those get a little bit weird, but we'll talk about that later. So, many of the tricks that Max plays on you involve putting your finger on the screen and moving it around at his command, which I think is pretty neat. I personally myself have not played any game where they tell you to touch the screen and move your finger around. Maybe, back when we had glass monitors, the idea was more palpable than today. But, I think it was clever. For 1994, that's pretty clever. And I gotta say that a lot of these tricks are actually accurate. And I know it's just some simple programming algorithms or whatever, but for a game made in the 90s, I do think it's quite clever. And when I was little, I couldn't understand how it was right. And, honestly, I now know that it's just programming, but it still kind of amazes me. Throughout the game, Max puts on different personas that are all admittedly quite cringy, but he actively acknowledges how stupid it is.
Let's play a game which will be special just for you. It involves the very year that you were born, and a lot of embarrassment for me.
The humor is very dry, and he will often make fun of you, which still holds up and continues to be funny, if you ask me.
The mangrove swamp will blossom by the time you've decided. Please don't blow it. It would be quite an embarrassment to me.
If you think I'm going to wait around for you all day, then you're not very psychic. I'm out of here.
There's a lot of fourth wall breaking.
Come here, right up to the screen in front of you. A little closer.
Sorry, I can't see what you're doing because this blasted huge pyramid is in the way.
And it doesn't take itself too seriously, which always helps.
You know how ridiculous I feel in this costume. How lucky for me that I can finally get out of this stupid trick. If I told you not to think of a pink giraffe, what are you thinking of right now? Pink giraffe. How do I do it? I'm a mind reader. It's magic.
The Psychic Compass. Psychic Compass.
You can also interact with the controller. You'll be answering yes or no by nodding and shaking Max's head. That's up or down and left and right, which is a nice touch because it's like you're really, interacting. And another little side note was that what was interesting is on one of the birthday games, you have to pick the year you were born. It only goes as high as 1999 and as low as 1940. Now, the tricks Max plays on you are pretty cool, but when you go to the screen where you and Max partner to play tricks on a friend, the game gets a little bit hazy and it starts to lose me. Many of the games involve real items, and some of them are like little decks of cards that you have to make. But and correct me if I'm wrong, I could not find anywhere in the game where it explains how to make them. It might be in the instruction manual, but I have long lost that. So if someone knows, I'd be curious, because it's a little weird when, you're asked to bring a deck of names, but you don't know if they were specific names or how many there are. And I tried to find somewhere in the game where it tells me, but it doesn't, as far as I can tell. Also, a lot of these games with the friend rely on real mind reading and not computer programming. When I tried them, they were not working. I don't know. It also confused me how Max would be working with me, but also my friend, but calling me by my name, but also calling me his partner. A few games were a little difficult to figure out who was doing what, because it just was a lot of different names and terms, now have your partner cut this. Oh, well, my partner will do that. Well, was that me or what? So I had difficulty figuring it out. Maybe I'm just tired and pregnant and stupid, but those sets of tricks were not nearly as impressive as the ones that use computer programming on the other side. But all in all, it's really not a bad game. I mean, it's simple, there's not a lot to it, but it's kind of fun. Obviously, it's best for kids or drunk adults. But when I was little, it kept me entertained, and I think for what it is, it still holds up.
I'll guess that it's time for me to get out of this moron suit and get a real job.